Yeah, I think coming off of year one into year two, I think we've added some really great additions to this defense to give us a chance to have a lot of success. I think from the back end, I would say we've added a lot more depth and I think guys that have the stuff that we're looking for to do what we do. And Nyland Green and Breedlove and those guys. Marquise Brown's been having a great fall camp so far. So obviously Dylan Thiedemann is still playing at a high level, and we're building depth within that room, which is awesome. And I think the additions of I think KJ Jenkins is having a really great fall at that new spot. So it's always fun to see him do some things, and our youth up front is starting to come along a little bit. So the more we can just coach them and not have to babysit these guys, that's kind of been a huge plus for us. They're taking a lot of ownership in this defense. And it's allowing us to coach the finer details and get better, which is fun.
Looks like they were really eager to hit some guys today.
Yeah, there was a couple scuffles early, but we got to be disciplined. Just because you have pads on doesn't mean you can't forget to do your job. So, no, it's good to get out there. Day one of pads and guys are flying around having fun. And it's at the end of the day, it's a physical game, so we got to be physical.
Dylan was a freak when he got here that first spring, but how far has he come, even from third-team All-American last year to now being a sophomore and maybe a little bit more confident and have a name to himself a little bit?
Yeah, obviously he had a great freshman beginning, and I think everybody now knows who he is. I think, and he understands that. He's an ultra competitor, and I think if the one thing you can say about Dylan is he's gotten better with knowing the playbook. And the more he knows, the faster he's going to play. So I think he still trains the same way. He still practices the same way. He still prepares the same way. And now just the fact that he knows a lot more of this defense and a little more savviness to him, I think he's on track to, Dylan's got to do what he does,
How can this defense improve,
Brad? If we can eliminate explosive plays, I think that's obviously one of our Achilles heels from last year. We had guys in positions to make plays. Now we just got to make them. That's going to be our key to success. If we make teams earn it down the field here, then 9 times out of 10 they're going to screw it up before we do. So if we can eliminate those types of big plays and just keep the ball in front of us, I think we're going to have a great chance for success.
Who are going to be your pass rushers without Scorton and with KJ now playing?
Well, yeah, we still got KJ. KJ's still up there as a pass rusher. Cheetah Silva, transfer from Boston College, has shown a lot of promise so far. Will Helt he's the Terminator out there, man. So he's had a great jump from freshman off season to let's see what he can do this year. I think he's had a great couple of the first few days. Jairo Jada is a guy that's kind of taken some steps from spring ball to now, and we're going to continue to add some of these good pass rushers. I know I'm missing somebody, but CJ Madden is another guy that is going to be. He brings a lot of energy and intensity to him. So, I think. And obviously, you can never replace a Nick Scorton, but we got guys that we feel like can go out and produce still, and that's our job as coaches is to put those guys in those positions where they can produce, So, I'm pretty excited for what we got. And our offensive line has improved immensely, so we're going against great competition daily, which has been awesome.
Middle linebacker, obviously, you mentioned KJ now going to have the headset, I think, communicating with you, but also kind of what role does Yanni have now alongside him?
Yeah, no, Yanni, in my mind, Yanni's still a starter, and KJ and Yanni together, they've kind of built a bond with each other. So those guys bring a certain intensity and nastiness to our defense. And I think Yanni has embraced the role that he's in with KJ in the room now. And I think guys like Winston Berglund is another guy that's really kind of showed out last week. Hudson Miller, Owen Davis are other guys in that room that, are – if knock on wood, you're not scared to put those guys in the game either. So it's been fun to see those guys kind of roll, and they lead by doing what they do, which has been fun.
The biggest thing for this defense is just eliminating the big plays. You had a lot of turnovers, a lot of tackles for loss, sacks last year, but It seemed like then there's the 30-yard pass that offsets all of that.
Right. You can't be bang or bust, and that's the emphasis, right? We got to line up and keep the ball in front of us, and the more we screw it up versus them, that's a problem. So So every day it's talking about being physical, fast, and then we're precise. We got to be precise in everything that we do.
Any of the young freshman safeties turning your head at all, like Beasley or Williams or Smiley Brett?
Smiley is doing an unbelievable job. He's got a little savviness to him where he's a good football player. And he seems to always be in the right spot. I think. Luke Williams he's got to learn to develop, and continue to learn this college football game, just the physicality of it. I think Corey Beasley has shown great promise. So, and then, you know, Ty Hutkins is a guy that's back there. That's kind of, he's kind of, you can tell he's a coach's son. You know, he's loud. He knows what's going on. And so I think the future is bright for those guys. I really do. But, you know, I think Smiley's the guy that kind of stands out right now in my mind, that you see him making plays and not the stage isn't too big for him right now.
It looks like Terrion Grant's been banged up, I guess.
Yeah, so Teron's he's getting healed up right now, so he should be back out here next week, I think. So.
You mentioned the pass rush, and last year most of your sacks came from 2 guys. Is it better to have 4 or 5, have more depth at the rush end, and be able to do some things with the safeties and such?
I think so. I think, you know, first off, I think we're going to be able to cover people better this year, you know, and because of that, it's going to allow people a little more time to go get the quarterback. And if we can give everybody a one-on-one, you can't just say it's KJ. You can't just say it's this guy. You know, we got 4 or 5 guys up there that have the ability to go win. And now you got 5, 6 one-on-ones where, oh shoot, you know, like this is a problem. And I do feel like overall as a pass rushing unit, we are better. You know, we're better on the interior. We're better on the edge as a collective unit. So I think it's going to be a fun year for that.
Defensive line is a lot of guys who were here last year. How much does that help? Just that cohesiveness with
it's huge,
those guys.
Man. Like Cole Brevard, Mo Amanade, like those guys are awesome. You know, even Jeffrey Emba has taken great strides in becoming a better, more consistent football player. You know, Joe Anderson had a great spring, and he'll be back here in a week or so. So he's coming back, but all those guys have got valuable. You can't take away game reps. You know, so game reps and experience are huge. And then the Jamarius Dinkins, you know, the additions of guys like that, D'Amico Kennedy, you know, those guys have shown up where they're going to give us some relief, but they still got to they're looking at good examples, right, and learning from those guys. So it's been fun to see those guys give a lot of reps and then also get better as it goes along.